Happy 420 everyone. Today I have some Vim tips for aesthetics, plugins, and settings. The first one is Zen Mode. You can see I have some very complicated TypeScript here. And you'll notice that there are no borders or line numbers or anything around my screen. It'll say insert on the bottom, but other than that, pretty much that's it in terms of flashiness. And I have a key map set to toggle this. So when I press leader U, let me turn on key casting real quick. Leader U will toggle Zen Mode. And this is just very nice if you want to display your code to someone. I don't really personally use it to actually code because the line numbers are pretty helpful for me. I think it just looks kind of excessively minimal. If that's even possible, that's kind of an oxymoron. It's good for presentation purposes. You can configure it to basically get rid of all the other jazz around your screen, so it's just straight up clear what you're showing someone. So next up is the border settings for my completion and dock cover. So if I type anything, you can see I have this window that has this little rounded border around it. And then the little pop-ups for info on these will also have rounded borders. Similarly, if I press capital K to get information on something, I guess I can't on that. But yeah, this one, it'll have that little box around it. Or this, it'll also have that little box around it. And that's opposed to the default, which just doesn't have that little rounded edge. And the way I got that, you can check out my dot files on GitHub, but I think it would be defined in LSP. Yeah, so here's the floated for diagnostic. You can just say border rounded. I think that would be, yeah, something like this. That's like a language diagnostic problem, but for the completion, I think that's a little lower down in CMP. Let's see. Maybe it's a little farther up. It's been a while since I've messed with this. Oh, here we go, yeah. In CMP, you can do setup and then window, and then say the border is rounded. It's no scroll bar, looks better. That kind of brings me to the next thing, which is my config, you probably noticed, is not crazy over the top aesthetic. Like some of these people, if you go on the subreddit Unix porn, which is, it's just how they name like good looking things on Reddit, I don't know. But you can see these crazy configs. People have like anime girls and like 20 different colors going and like 5 splits. And if you're the type of guy who like has NeoFetch and you have like a customized like prompt with Starship and you're using some other shell like fish and you have this crazy colorful thing, I honestly think that's going a bit too far aesthetically. Like, think about it like you're trying to impress a girl. What's more impressive, having like a kind of nice car, like a Hellcat maybe, or like taking her on a really nice vacation? The vacation might not be like as in your face, but it's like understated and elegant, you know what I mean? And if you look at like all the top tier Vimmers, like the Primogen, their configs don't look crazy. They don't have these 20 paints going, and that's because like it just looks more like you care about the work rather than the aesthetic. Like, I don't want to be looking at someone's config and think like, wow, that guy will do literally anything to not go outside. He's sitting around changing his background color all day in order to avoid like some basic social interaction. Before you rage at me in the comments, I was once there too, so I'm just trying to help you out. And then finally, just the theme that I'm using. I kind of think you should use, I mean, there's plenty of good themes. Everyone has their own preferences. I kind of like a neutral one. Things like Capuchin or Nord or Groovebox are just like, they're classic, but they're kind of colorful. And I kind of like the look of just like black and white, but you have like small color accents. So the theme that I'm using is called Vague. I think actually it's defined in a colors.lua. Yeah, it's by Vague2K. Plugin's called Vague. And then I just set the background to nothing. And that's because sometimes I want to have like a window behind Vim for some kind of like interesting aesthetic effect. So if we have like a little island, the window's actually transparent. My Vim window, I mean. So what I could do is open this up and now I have like a cool little island thing going. And you know, I could pop into Zen Mode, open up some kind of file. You can barely see it, but barely see the code, but I think there's cool potential there. If you wanted some kind of animated background, because at one point I had some kind of like cool laser going in here and I could point at things. But yeah, hopefully you got something from this.